have covered 2 ways of filtering the data in the reports. Let's see the third one. The third one is by creating filters. I'm going to start by creating a filter at a chart level. I will select a chart, and in Setup, if I scroll down, I can see Add a Filter. I click on it, and it allows me to start creating my filter. I don't have any filters created in this report. That's why it shows me, the first thing that it shows me is the screen where I can create the filter. If I had filters, then it would show me the list of filters first, the list of available filters first. I'm going to create a filter called Organic Search. And I'm going to include, so the conditions, it could include or exclude. In this case, I'm going to include those sessions, session default channel group, that equals to Organic Search. And if I click on Save, it will apply my filter on my chart. I click on Save, and that is showing no data. I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you what would happen if I applied a filter that is wrong on a chart. I'm going to edit my filter. I go back to where I added the filter, and in this little pen on the left, I click on it. And now what I'm gonna do is change this search, this S, this lowercase s, by a capital S. I click on Save, and now my chart is showing data. That is the type of filter that is at a chart level. I can also add a filter at a page level. If I go to Page, I click on Current Page Settings, and in Setup, first I need to select the data source. In this case, it's already selected, it's GA4 Google Merge Shop, and then I can add filters. If I add a filter here, then all the charts in my page will have the filter applied. Click on Add a Filter. I click on Organic Search. As you see here, it's showing me the list of filters because I have one created already, instead of showing directly the window where I can create the filter. So I select Organic Search. And now all my page is showing Organic Search data. I don't know if you noticed that the data here change. And that's because sometimes when you select a filter at a page level, the date range changes. For some reason, it changes. So what I need to do is to go back to my date range, select again last month. We can see that the default date range is still last month, but then here it stopped being, and it was showing different data. It was showing the last 28 days, which is the date range by default. So I just needed to select again last month. Now I have data. If I click on the first chart, then I can see that I have a filter at a page level. It says Page Filter, and at a chart level. If I don't want this page filter to be applied to my chart, then I can disable these Inherit filters. I disable it, but because what it was applying as a page filter and as a scorecard filter, it was the same, then the data did not change. I can leave it, it's fine. And also, if you go to File, Report Settings, I can add a filter at a report level. That means that this filter will be applied to all the pages in my report. So, report level applies to all pages. Current page settings, it only applies to the page that you are changing. This filter at a page level is very useful when you want to replicate the same charts but use a different filter in every page. And I will explain that with an example. So for example, I have this page that it's showing data from Organic Search. If I go to Page again and I click on Duplicate Page, I still have my initial page where I have Organic Search data. And now I have a second page with the same charts as before. And what I could do now is to go again in my second page, go again to page, current page settings, and change this organic search filter by a direct filter. I'm going to remove the filter, and then I could add the filter from here, add a filter, or I could go to Resource, Manage Filters, and add a filter. So in this case, I'm gonna name it Direct, and I'm going to include the session default tunnel group that equals to direct. Click on Save. I have my filter created. If I go to Resource Manage Filters, then I can see all the filters that I have created, plus I can see in how many of the charts they have been applied. Now I go back to my page settings, and I'm going to add the filter Direct. We see that here we have again 0 total users. If I click on it, I can see that I have the page filter Direct, and I have the scorecard filter which was organic search. That is because when you duplicate a page, if you have any filter at a chart level, that's going to be duplicated too. So what I need to do is just to remove this organic search filter. And if I go to the first page, I should remove it too at a chart level in case I want to duplicate this page more times.